Now, I've been watching the new Animaniacs on Hulu, and I gotta say, I'm really enjoying it, but I'm sure a lot of y'all are wondering what happened to Slappy Squirrel, Rita and Runt, the Goodfellas, and one of the most memorable characters from the original series, Hello Nurse. Like, sure, they gave us an explanation in the series as to her whereabouts, but what's the real reason for her omission in the reboot? Well, I mean, come on, think about it, guys. She single-handedly gave the Warner Brothers their iconic catchphrase, Hello Nurse. Now it seems like it's goodbye nurse. She's no more. Interesting fact though, for those that might be curious, the catchphrase Hello Nurse was originally meant for Buster Bunny in Tiny Toons as an equivalent to Bugs Bunny's What's Up Doc? Yeah, what's up Doc? Hello Nurse. See, kind of makes sense. But I'll tell you right now, I think the Warner Brothers made better use of that particular catchphrase than Buster ever could have. Not to throw any shade on Buster, but honestly, it's true. Come on now. So what happened to these characters and why aren't they in the reboot? Well, let's start with the Goodfellas. Based on the 1990 classic Martin Scorsese film entitled Goodfellas, a lot of us weren't even born yet to really appreciate that particular movie. Well, I'll tell you right now though, if you're familiar with Martin Scorsese films and into classic crime movie dramas, then, well, you've probably seen this particular movie. But in this day and age, the Goodfellas movie is, it's a bit outdated. It's a bit of a dated reference for this particular audience, the audience that this particular continuation / reboot is catering to. Now, you can say the same for Rita and Runt, who have a relationship that's akin to George and Lenny from Of Mice and Men, that particular fictional novel. Do they still even make kids read that novel in school, Of Mice and Men? I remember being forced to read that. I doubt that they're forcing kids to read it. I don't know. Y'all tell me. But I'll tell you right now, it's still a very dated reference by today's standards. You know, it's like making a Huckleberry Finn reference. Like, you're painting a fence? Come on, dog. What the hell? Also, the character Runt was based on Dustin Hoffman's character in the 1988 movie Rainman, who was a character that had autism and savant syndrome.
I'm an excellent driver.
You know how to drive?
Yeah.
Rainman! You never touch the steering wheel when I'm driving. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Of course, I don't have my underwear.
Good idea, Rita. Let's try for 3.
Dogs. Go fig.
Now, outside of, simply being a dated movie reference, depictions of characters in animation who have a developmental disorder isn't something to be taken lightly or approached lightly, or in a way where the character is viewed as the source of comedic relief. Things that shows such as the original Animaniacs did in the 90s just aren't things that would fly today, in today's PC culture. Which brings us to the nurse. Now, she was the main source of the Warner Brothers' affection, and looking back at some of the original episodes, she was really objectified a lot by those two. I mean, they objectified the hell out of her, man. Even though she has a high IQ, went to Yale, received a Nobel Prize in physics, her presence on the show was boiled down to her voluptuous, buxom, bodacious bod by the boys. And honestly, I tell you right now, as a boy myself, as a boy at the time watching those episodes of Animaniacs, the original series, I didn't have a problem with it. Again, I was a kid, so what do I know? I just see a nice body and I'm just like, ooga, like Tex Avery style. But you know what? There's no way Yakko and Wakko's actions would fly in today's culture. By today's standards, what was depicted back then would not fly at all today. They constantly groped and kissed the nurse without consent, which isn't something that would fly in animation these days. So it's best to just avoid the headache of backlash from the public, mostly from those who aren't familiar with the animated show's past. Again, the 90s were a different time where certain jokes, both in animation and live action, were a bit more racy. The culture we live in today, where we're a lot more sensitive to depictions of gender, race, and religion in media, including animation, is why the nurse isn't seen in the Animaniacs reboot. Although, I'd argue that there could have been a clever and unique, interesting way to keep her in the series. It would have been nice, I don't know, to see Yakko and Wakko acknowledge their past indiscretions and behaviors towards the nurse in the previous series. But, I also understand that something like that might be admitting fault on their part when they were simply just a product of the times. So the best way is to just treat this like what it is, which is a reboot. a continuation of sorts where characters have grown in their behaviors and some characters have moved on altogether. Those are just my thoughts, though. I want to pass this off to you all that are watching. What's your take on this? Do you miss these characters? Do you think they should have included them? Or is it best to just leave these characters in the past and not sully what it was that was established in the original series? Let's talk about it in the comment section down below. Also, if you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I make videos like this all the time and we'd love to have you here, baby. And if you've been here, maybe think about becoming a member. I have exclusive video content for members, live Discord chats with me happening on Discord all the time. We do it all the time. We just talk about whatever. We even play video games on occasion. That's right, we play Among Us like everyone else among us. We're playing Among Us. So please think about clicking that join button to become a member. Membership starts at $1.99. That's a Happy Meal, baby. Come on now. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Bonkers.